What's good, OG?
What's good with your good side?
Nothing. Everybody got the news right now. Everybody got the news. And we all know what's happening when it comes to our current president, Joe Biden, dropping out. Now, I kind of just want this out the way because you can already see everybody's going live with the news. Everybody's doing all this big rambling about, oh my goodness, what's this going to look like for the Democrats? What's it going to look like for the Republicans? Oh, this is pretty much a surefire victory for Trump. Oh, Kamala's got to go up against Trump. None of that even bothers me. None of that even phases me whatsoever. So while everybody's out there having a firestorm, having fiery assholes about what they think their opinions are, I just kind of want to ask some real questions that's actually might get into some real thought. Because right now, everything is going to be about, quite frankly, just slandering one side versus the other and just arguing about what they would do if, quote, they were president. That's what I'm already just having in my head about everything. And I'm pretty sure it's already being reflected.
I've been seeing it all morning, sir. It's no lie. That's a fact. A lot of projections on what they think the president should be and who the president should, or what think the president should do and who the president should be. So it's a lot of those assumptions.
Yeah, that's exactly what I already felt it was going to be because we do it all the time. Yet people are not going to be paying attention to the fact that there are it's just another distraction. And what I mean by that is like now that you have yet another woman run for president, you're going to have people that start going through all the same shit that we went through when it came to Hillary. They're going to be the whole, oh, she can do it. Oh, what about this when it comes to reproductive rights? Oh, we need to have another woman. If anybody who remembers what it was like when we had Hillary running, it was female charge all over the place, right? And that's going to be something else that we're pretty much going to wind up going to for the rest of it. So instead of asking the basic questions, right? Because that's exactly what people are going to do. They're going to ask a lot of basic questions and they're not really going to get down to nitty gritty. They're going to speak about the border. People are very forgetful. You know, we were just talking about this just a moment ago before we started. People are awfully forgetful about what her actual stance is on a lot of different things prior to her even becoming a vice president. People are forgetting about what her stance is when it comes to actual like Medicare. People are actually very forgetful when it comes to really what has she done since being vice president. Let's just let people really need to get on that. What exactly has this woman done, vice president? While everybody starts talking about all the things that she can and she cannot do, I think a very important question is also look at her history and what she's done so far, not as vice president. Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of people didn't even know who really Kamala Harris was prior to her nomination. No one didn't know who she was. Oh, absolutely. What's good, Mayo? No one knew anything about this woman. Actually, Mayo, you're reminding me because this is not a slighted conversation for anybody, and we're not here to actually put this out there. Because again, I'm a person. I am definitely not someone who knows too much about to politics. I know as I go, as I like to say. So let me just pin this right to the top. If you have an opinion, feel free to come up here. Feel free to state your actual piece. I am good with it, but I'm going to let you know right now. If this is all about what someone can do for you when you really don't know about what the hell their stances are, you're gonna get bombarded. Because all that bullshit is everywhere else on everybody else's platform right now. Let's actually start digging through a whole bunch of shit so that we can start asking the questions that people are not asking. We'll know in time who her VP is. Is that really the important question? When she became a VP, everybody says, what the hell this bitch does? When we all say, what the hell do VPs do? Does anybody remember what Mike Pence did? No, we don't. So that's not important. Let's talk about basically what she did to get here. What exactly do we predict that she's going to do based on her past as an indicator? Hey, Yvette, what's going on? Let's talk about not what we would do if we were in that position. Because let's be honest, you shouldn't have that conversation because you weren't smart enough to be on the ticket. Just gonna be honest with you. Let's talk about the things you would like to see, but let's not talk about what you would do if you're in a set position because you weren't bright enough to put yourself in that position. So let's just get away from that shit right then and there. I want to get away from the regular talking points and narratives. Start asking some real serious shit. What does an actual Kamala presidency look like within the first year? Not the years coming all the way down. Yeah, just the first year. Let's just say, what does the nation look like once she's actually elected? Sorry, once she is actually elected and she's actually in the first year. How will people behave before she even, if she wins, how the country will behave as just her being a president-elect prior to her actually getting into the role before she starts officially? How do you think the country's going to behave when it comes to that nonsense? I think these are questions that we need to actually get into it, because too many times we get either hung up on the past or we start talking about a future basically that we can't possibly understand, because no one can ever dictate what's going to happen with the actual future. No one knows that a pandemic is going to happen. No one actually knows when a financial crisis is going to take place. No one knows if there's going to be a big tech boom that's going to take place. So these are the things that we're not going to be focusing on. But based on what a person has presently done throughout their career, we can pretty much get an idea of what they might do in the future. Let's speculate on the things that, since we know, are random acts that happen throughout the world, right? That could potentially happen. Since people like to turn around and say, I think that Trump was a terrible president because of the way how he handled COVID. When quite frankly, every president around the globe, president, prime minister, dictator, whatever, son of Ra, whatever the fuck you want to call it, pretty much had to deal with information as it happens. It was literally disseminating information. No one had the answer. The same way how we turned around and knocked presidents for what happened in our 2008. Nobody was prepared for that. Of course, the banks had to be bailed out. No, we shouldn't have bailed out the banks. Then I asked the question, and some people are okay because some people are just anarchists. When I asked the question, so are you okay with having the U.S. slip from being number one? That would never happen. No. You would assume that could not happen. You would assume that because you believe that you personally would feel unaffected, that the entire nation wouldn't be affected. If we can get beyond just thinking about our own myopic point of view, because we tend to really believe that the whole world is centered around us and not around people as a collective. Like, broaden your damn horizons. It's not about you, because if it was, we wouldn't be talking about these people in power. We would be talking about you. So it's not about you. It is about what you think, but it's not about what you do, because what you do is not relevant. Because if you can complain about how these people got in power, then you can complain about all the other people that elected these people, including you. Because by you actually not voting, by you actually not putting on the local level to put particular people in position, because that's exactly what you're doing. When you think of a long-term strategies, the people that you put in your local elections are the people who are potentially going to be these political figures who are gunning for the top spot. Things over time. That's just what it is. So, as we have people come in, I appreciate you guys coming in. I see CCD's walked into the door. Yvette, John the Baptist here. Here we go. Let's go. What?
I can't believe this shit, man. I can't believe this shit.
You can't?
No, I believe it. But my puss ass father ain't trying to pay his motherfucking bill. This nigga that tried to. Hell no, that ain't what I said. I said if Trump didn't make it, I said, pussy, that's what you said. But my side of the bet was if Biden dies, croaks, COVID, death, punched in the throat, couldn't finish shit, I want my $100. He's like, no, we can wait till election. I say, look, okay, cool. We can add an additional bet after you pay me. Look, if you want if you want to wait till election day, it's going to cost you another $100. It's going to have to cost you another $100. But that wasn't a bet. The bet was if Trump would die, and you was hoping that nigga died, got shot. Like you said, if that bullet wouldn't have missed, you wouldn't have paid me. It's like, pussy, yes, I would have. Pussy, I would have.
That counts.
It counts.
It counts.
I hate Democrats, man. Them motherfuckers get on my nerves, man. But no, I told, listen, matter of fact, let me pay this nigga his money right now. I can't stand these niggas, man. Fucking sorry ass motherfucker. But this is a death of the Democrat Party right now.
Okay.
Death of it.
You know they're not going to cop to that. It's remember
it's a death of it right now. They can't never do no shit like this, dog. They really expect to win? No, sir. They don't now they're not trying to motherfucking win. They're not trying. If there were no one likes her. I'm sorry, hold on. The niggas like her. I'll give you that. Niggas love this dumb bitch. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Chucks and pearls and shit. Cool. That's what you're going to say. But guess what? You just literally signed the Democrat death wish for this election. You think they're going to let a nigga bitch?
This is why I basically said, let's not talk about, at this point, let's not even talk about who they would like to run instead of her, because it doesn't matter now. They've already endorsed her.
Absolutely.
So there's no such thing as talking about it. You know, while they're going to sit there and talk about, well, who's going to be her VP? It won't even matter because the VP don't do shit.
Listen.
We can say this. He's not going to die. He's not going to catch COVID and pass. So that doesn't matter. So the question is, like, so one of the things I was mentioning to OG is like some of the criticisms that she faced prior to even quote becoming the VP. One of the big things that I know that I heard a lot that was being thrown at her is like, how the hell can they elect her to be vice president? Didn't she basically sleep her way to the top? And I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
The Democrats don't care about that shit. They don't have any moral compass when it comes to their side of the fucking spectrum doing anything wrong. That's why Trump it's always Trump everything bad, but they can never really say anything about what Biden has done wrong. The racist shit that he has ever said in his mouth right now is like, well, that was 60 years ago, or that was 30 years ago, or that was 40 years ago. You can't tell me, well, he's changed. How the fuck? Okay, if you can say one person changed, why can't you say the other person changed? If that's what you're gonna go by, because that fucking Park 5, Central Park 5 was years and years ago. It wasn't 5 years ago. It wasn't 6 years ago. This was what, in the 80s or early 90s? I don't know when it was. It was one of them years.
So John the Baptist, real quick, Tom. You said that she would enact policies, she would fight against policies that would strengthen American families. Well, that's a matter of perspective, I would have to say, because people think that the current measures that that Trump put into place were the things that really harm families, and that's not the way how I see it. That's not the way how I see it, but we've actually seen that they did help a lot of families get together. Now, you say actively go against. That's why I say let's talk about what was her record even prior to becoming vice president, because she didn't do shit as vice president. So she's going to want to go back and try to fight up against Roe v. Wade, because she's not going to want it to be in the States. She's going to want reproductive rights to be nationwide. She's going to want that. She's going to talk about her whole Medicare for all. She's going to do that. And to some people, they're going to think that that's a bad thing. And for other people, they're going to say that's wonderful. So it's really a perspective of where you currently are in your station. But like I said, it's a censor thing and how it affects you versus how it affects the entire nation. You would say, Tom?
You really think white people are going to let a nigga run them?
Sir, they kind of already said that they let it happen when they put Barack in. And
no. First off, that was a nigga male. They are never. I repeat, do you think white women gonna let a nigga bitch run them? Think logically. Do you really think a white man is gonna want a black female to be the leader of them? Think about it. Let's not. They didn't even want the.
Sir. What is the name of the street?
I don't know. What it say? Unburdened.
What can be
unburdened what has been. All right.
been.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. If you think it's gonna happen, I mean, if you think she gonna get, I don't even think she's gonna get 40 million votes. I don't believe it.
Honestly, I believe a whole lot of women are going to rally to her side because again, they're gonna pull the whole "we want a woman as president." So that's the first vote. It's
not gonna happen. If it was gonna happen, it would have happened underneath Hillary Clinton.
And if she would have probably kept her mouth shut for a lot of the dumb shit that she actually did,
God. You really think white woman want niggas in charge of them? Y'all, listen, this is my problem.
They voted for Rocket.
Sir, this is my problem. We say they say America has a stain of racism and racist beliefs and blah, 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 blah. So you think racism stopped yesterday? Do you think racism stopped yesterday? Let's be honest. Because I know I heard this week. How much racism still affects everyone to this day. Do you think it's not gonna be a factor now? Y'all crazy as cat shit. And I don't even know how cat shit can be crazy.
Let me ask you a question, Tom. If your boy Trump wasn't in there and it was Hillary versus Kamala, which one will win, sir?
They're going to be on the both same side, so that's
well, I'm myself. See, you think it too far.
Okay, if that's the case,
if they had to compete with the nominee,
it will be Hillary. It would be Hillary hands down.
That's something I want to know, sir. I'm just listening. Don't know nothing about this shit.
Here's what I'm saying. No matter what, you can say how much that women rally behind women. That's cool and dandy. But when it comes to women wanting another woman in charge of them, that is not of their so-called ethnicity. They're going to go directly with what their husband want them to do. And if their husband is not, I don't give a fuck how much pussy you are as a man, you still not going to want a black woman, so-called black woman, in charge of you. That's why Biden really didn't want to endorse Kamala Harris. That was his only choice to. Believe it, you can believe it or not. If this nigga wouldn't endorse that bitch, I'm telling you right now, skeletons are coming out of the closet. Joe Biden is getting indicted. Joe Biden would have lost his whole everything.
Well, there's no way he would have been able to rerun anyway. But yeah, you're right. I think a lot of stuff would have come out. That already should have. That perfectly, we already know.
Absolutely,
he's not being in charge for it.
Absolutely, he has to endorse her. That's it, because they're gonna be like, why didn't you endorse your goddamn vice president? You picked her, so that means she's the next best thing. You grooming her to be your thing. Now, if you come out and say I'm dropping out, and I'm not, I'm endorsing someone else, bro. Nigga, you done let down the black community. Everyone that was holding your secrets is done.
Well, this is something that's definitely going to hit Democrats for a while.
Oh, this next 4 months is going to be a shit show.
not just the next 4 months. It's not. First of all, it was this. Your damn president's going to die on you, which doesn't look good across the board. But it also means, what exactly do we do when we have people that are just so stubborn that we are allowing people? This opens up so much. Let's just go this way. It opens up so much about the age of being able to run as president. Because if we say there's such an early age as to when you can start, there needs to be an age as to when you need to stop. As to when you cannot run. Well, this calls into question.
That's going to call into question the same thing that's been called into question before. We need term limits and age limits. If we have age limits on everything else, we need to have age and term limits on everything else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, that's all it did was show the it's not fragility. It's fragile.
No, you said it, fragility.
Okay. to elderly people. I'm sorry. Look at, we just had a 76-year-old black woman just die. Sheila Jackson Lee died of cancer at the age of 76. She shouldn't have been in Congress anyway if she had cancer. Bitch, step down. Step the fuck down. Get your health in order. You was a hated bitch anyway. That's why you didn't win it fucking for, what was it, a mayor of goddamn Houston. But the fact of the matter that people think that these motherfuckers need to stay in office until they die is ridiculous. But, you know, it is Uncle Tom, liberal men and black progressive men will vote for Harris. You're insane. John the Baptist. There is something that y'all keep saying is liberal men bullshit.
I don't think
you have no fucking proof of this. Every time a mother... You crazy. Listen, they get enough of their motherfucking wives and girlfriends telling them what to do. You think they're gonna do it just because you crazy? You know what? You right, John the Baptist.
No, check
you right, John the Baptist.
Because how many liberal men were out there with their wives, with their girlfriends, and all kind of whatever mess, and what they do behind their back? They voted for Trump. They had more black liberal men vote for Trump and it was totally blowing people out the mouth. Yeah, I'm gonna go down to the polls, baby. Yeah, come on now. You know we'll be gonna vote. You know it. You know it's gonna be a Democrat. Come on. And they went in there where they were like,
Word salad 2024.
2024.
What can be?
My thing is,
I'm burdened by what has been.
She's gonna start
the nominee after the convention.
Yeah, she's gonna start her first speech like that. Yeah. We know how it's been. We know it's been a hard year, and thank you, Joe, for all of your hard work. You know we're gonna keep on Joe Biden's legacy. I say it all the time, everyone. As long as you stay strong and you stay committed, what can be is gonna be well by what has been.
Gotta go up. Do you think she's going to be the nominee after the convention, though?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't think so. Because even Obama's saying they should have some kind of a primary event. He does not want her.
I would agree. The consensus has always been that people are not prepared. They don't feel comfortable that she can lead the country. That's been a consensus throughout. Everybody, Republican and Democrat, they're like, why is she VP? She's VP because it was the safest route for the Democrats to pick a woman, not because she could actually. He was
going to pick a black female.
That's the only reason why she's there. It's literally a diversity hire.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it, folks.
What can be unburdened by what has been, and you bitches better know it. 2024, bitch. I think it's going to be a contested convention, and they better do a primary before it gets there. I'm telling you right now.
And that's what
they're against the clock.
Even Obama's saying
the Democrats are against the clock because Trump just has to do this and just look at the shot clock.
Mayo, can you believe my pussy ass father didn't want to pay up his bet that he lost because Joe Biden dropped out?
Of course not, sir.
Fucking shitty ass Democrats, man.
Yeah.
He talking about, oh no, we can wait till election. Just because you were never Trump or anyone but Trump, that doesn't mean that's what my bet to you was. You accepted the bet that I had, just like I had to accept your premises and principles for your bet.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
He don't know how betting works. That's why he's a bad gambler.
Yeah, this I'll tell you, this throws a wrench into their fucking works, man.
The wrench was the wrench was just accepting Joe Biden and not coming up with somebody who could run up against him. That's what the problem. That was that's where they started their problem.
Here, the problem was not actually having a primary when they know he was that fucking old.
Yeah. Oh,
like I said, 7 months ago, what is different in his behavior, the way he speaks, the way his mannerisms is? If you can say nothing is wrong, nothing is different from then till now, then what the fuck were you thinking not having a primary? Because their primary was 7 months ago.
At least the primary would have given a good consensus of who number 2 was.
So let me let me ask this, right? So, given the fact that, because I was asking this for a while, even when I was like, why is it Democrats are not necessarily having the primary? And the question was in my mind was like, why aren't other prominent like Democrats even being considered? Like, does this literally just indicate that there's a huge lack of strength when it comes to party leadership?
They
won't even think about going up against their current president, who's not looking good.
Well, their leader has been a puppet for the last 4 years.
But they knew that even the puppet, his strings were unraveling.
Yeah.
Why not set up a new one? But the fact of the matter, they didn't even consider anyone. Like I said, they didn't even put up a primary.
No.
Now they're scrambling.
I think they honestly believed he was okay.
They couldn't, man. Ain't no fucking way, dog.
There's no way. Dude, there's no way.
Tom, your father would say that man is perfectly fucking fine right now.
But I always say my fucking father's a goddamn idiot, and he's
welcome to the Democrat voter base.
You know what?
They are that fucking dumb.
That's a fucking fact. This pussy ass nigga didn't pay me my money.
All right, can I read a quote about Ukraine from Kamala Harris?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong. That was her answer to adults on the Ukraine-Russia conflict.
Oh,
Does that sound like a kindergarten teacher to you?
That was on the radio, sir. That's how stupid she is.
Oh, I know. I mean, you think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
This nigga said,
I'm not surprised.
Oh, now this nigga gonna call me back. Hold on 1 second. I gotta jot down real quick.
And this was her quote on COVID. It is time for us to do what we have been doing. And that time is every day.
I agree with CCD. We need a translator. She's spitting bars. She's getting her rap career up.
Word Salad 2024. I want to know, though.
On a different level. She's on a different level, Mayo. It's not my fault you can't pick it up.
She is on a Terrence Howard level of Word Salad and throwing shit together.
It's beautiful genius. We can't have you talking about it like that. It's beautiful genius.
Or narcissistic tendencies. One or the other.
You just got you hear him arguing?
Listen to him yelling at his dad.
First off, let me tell you something. No, you listen. No, nigga, sir. You know there's two sides of every bet. Hello. Wait a second.
We need to do better at honoring our bets.
Yes, we do.
That's why I just go ahead and pay him.
Can you do this? Listen to this.
Money. Okay, I didn't know.
The thing about a bet is you have your side of the bet and I have my principles in the bet. That's how bets work. If you say, hey, I don't give a fuck if Trump dies or he gets shot in the face, I have to agree to that just like you have to agree to my terms on the bet. It's not a one-way fucking bet. Oh my God. This is why you're not a good gambler, sir.
What that nigga just said?
No, it ain't. What? Holy shit. Sure. What that's fine. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care. Nigga, just pay me my money. Stop being a flabbing pussy hole.
Jesus.
I don't give a fuck about what you worrying about. I just want my motherfucking money, nigga.
This nigga is crazy, bro. This nigga is crazy.
Listen. This is why I don't. This is why I don't like motherfucking Democrats. They don't honor their motherfucking base.
Tom, go ahead and argue with your father.
This nigga is crazy.
These guys. Oh man, listen.
Well, I got a question for Tom when he come with. I got a question for y'all when Tom come back up here. But not gonna do your thing. I'm gonna wait till he come back up because I really want to know these answers to the stuff I've been writing down over here. Because I'm trying to learn more about this shit, bro, and I'm listening. So there's certain things I want to know. But I'm gonna wait till he come back because I want to hear his answer too.
Okay. So now I gotta think about all. So I was looking back and I was trying to look at some of the things that what was actually her policies, even when she was a senator prior to me. Her biggest thing was, of course, she wants to make sure that there should be no opposition. That basically she believes in a lot of she believes in the very democratic view of abortion rights. I know that was a big thing when it came to how she wanted to do things. Now, she was not, as far as I understood, she was not opposing of the entire abortion thing. Like, she did not want it to the states. She definitely not someone who wanted to support Roe v. Wade. She wanted to be nationwide. And quite frankly, every nation is going through a decline. So we know that this is something right now that she's going to be looking to fight up against. That's going to be one of her biggest stances that she's got, because she was actually pushing for a better way to get IVF done for women. And I'm like, you don't think that that's an actual issue because you're pushing for everybody to get IVF? That means there's a lot of ladies out there that's trying to get pregnant while they're older, and there's not enough younger people that are actually having kids. Now, to me, that was a big concern. Then she has this whole Medicare for all thing, which that's always going to play into its whole thing when it comes to economics in general. Because that's not going to be something that everybody agrees with, or not everybody wants to pay into, or whatever. Because we still got to worry about the fact of Social Security. It's still been sitting in the wind for a long, long time now. And I wonder how people are really feeling about that. Again, we don't even know in these 4 to 5 months of whether they're going to bring up anyone to go up against her. Why she has to, quote, sort out. Because for all we know, they're not going to even do that. They're just going to spend the 4 or 5 months of just trying to prep her. That's just really what it is. They could be trying to just prep her. They're just saying, we don't have enough time. There's not enough people. And here's the truth of the matter. With the presidential endorsement, because they're not going to want to turn around and just say, Joe is slipping then and he's slipping now on his endorsement, when quite frankly, they were backing this man up while he was practically holding on to dear life. Jill up there giving him his medication as a suppository, right up there. Like, you good boy, Joe. So quite frankly, they're not going to go up against his endorsement. They're not going to outright just say that he made a bad choice in him endorsing Kamala. Because that's, quite frankly, that was part of her position. So I agree. I agree with you, and I even agree with Tom when he turned around and said this: if they had gone for somebody else, it would have been a firestorm. It would have been a firestorm.
Oh yeah.
Here's the question: does she believe in the whole the student debt shit? Does she believe in trying to relieve that?
Oh yeah, I'm sure she does.
Because women are going to try to hold it to that. So she may try to run on that platform, and I'm going to sit there and laugh. I'm like, if your quote, your predecessor didn't do it, fuck, we're going to believe that you're going to do it. Yeah, but that might try to use that for the women.
Resla, that's the Democrat platform.
It is.
Period. And she's going to run on it.
But that's how they got
in it or not.
Yeah, that's how they got in.
Or not. Yeah.
So I like to say that this was the Democrat platform that got them in. To think that you wouldn't have one, she's gonna spit that same focus, the same narrative, and then that because she's a woman, because it's something that we learn Same thing like we say for Obama. There are plenty of people who did not know what Obama stood for, what his policies, what he already voted for when he was a senator. They said, we did it because he's a nigga. It's basically what they did. Because he's black. That's why I voted for him. There are women that are going to fight for other women. She could be a tyrant, but if she's the first woman, they'll vote for her. There are plenty of people who did not like Hillary whatsoever, but they said, it's a woman, so I'm going to take my chances because I need to see a female in. So the idea that women won't do it, I can't abide by that, because people are very selfish in nature about what they would like to see represented. When a representation is just a look, not necessarily, not the examples. I would rather have a great example than just have a face. Plain and simple. I would love to see a strong example of what we think a president should be, or how a political figure, or just how a leadership should be, and not just say, well, they black. That's not good. Well, they woman. That's not good enough, because it can backfire in your face. Turn around and so I look at it this way: for all the women that were out there and they were voting strong for Hillary, I stand with her. Imagine you got Hillary in, and she was an absolute tyrant. And because we already saw how all the backline shit and how all the rumors about how the Clintons ran their whole shit or whatever, imagine she was a complete tyrant. Imagine she was the type of person that says, I'm not leaving the chair now that I'm sitting in it. And look how people were just behaving when it came to how they accused Trump on all that. I'm not leaving. And the Clintons damn for sure had more political power than Trump ever did. But imagine if she did that. Who would have really tried to oppose her? You think the women that turned around and wanted to vote her in were really going to go up against that? They weren't. Because a lot of people in the political spaces were almost practically looking at the Clintons as the almighty, the most powerful family up there.
Because and they were until the Obamas.
That's the point. That's the point.
I can't stand Democrats, dog. I can't fucking stomach them. This nigga gonna say this, what this sorry puss ass little boy said. That wasn't a bet, but I'll give you the 100. But if he lose in November, you gonna owe me 200. I said, bitch, that's an additional bet. Now, unless you're willing to add an extra 100, which I will gladly do it. I'll bet 100 him versus Kamala. Sure, I'll add it. But then if she ain't the primary, if she doesn't fucking get the nomination, and it's someone else, then you're like, no, it wasn't versus her. Nah, dog. I said, if you want additional bet, just say it. Until then, I want my money. I'm like G.G. Wentworth. It's my money. I want my money now. But go ahead, OG. I was listening to y'all. What'd you say?
Sir, I'm the only person up here quiet.
No. You said you had a question to ask me when I got back up here.
Oh, I was gonna let y'all finish what y'all was talking about. Or with
I'm done. I don't want that nigga.
Oh, okay. So look, y'all said something, bro, about to the phase of they not gonna want Kamala to go and try to, go against Trump. So this is what I'm saying. Take her out of it. If somebody else can come up there and compete with Trump, do you think he'll have a chance with a younger person or anybody that's on this side?
Absolutely.
And why would you say that? Just for clarification.
Because they do have, I will say they have other candidates that I think that can sure enough win. If you want to say Hakeem Jeffries would be the better choice, I don't like him, but there are a lot of Democrats do it, and he is a leader in the party. Right now, he's the House representative leader of the Democrat Party. And sure, he's a better fucking leader than she would be, because first off, he's a man. And you got to still understand this. They will allow a man to lead them. They don't want a woman, no matter who it is. If you look at all the women leaders in history, they have fucked up countries. Sure. They're not going to allow a woman, and to include a fake black woman, to lead them. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
Dude, who did Hakeem Jeffries take over from? Who did Hakeem Jeffries take over from, sir?
A woman
that ran the party for fucking 20 years.
Absolutely, but here's the problem with her. She wasn't a nigga.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to take it from the. Okay, look. So Again, I was trying to take it from the fact, bro. I wasn't even talking about the woman or the nigga. That's why I put the dude in the other. If I said a dude in
That's
this
why
other
I
place.
said Hakeem Jeffries.
The question I had to you, bro, was could Trump compete with them? And you said yes. I said give me clarification.
Oh no, I thought
you went right back to the niggas now.
No,
I didn't even know why
would
you think Trump would be able to handle himself, bro? I mean, going against Biden, he was a better looking choice. I'm not going to lie about that.
About on the other side.
That's why I was trying to let y'all finish. That's why I was trying to let y'all finish with y'all talk before I asked the question, because I didn't want to throw us off. I was just trying to let y'all get everything out.
I thought you were talking about, do someone on the Democrat Party have a chance against Trump? Because Trump, no matter what it is, Trump is going to be their nominee.
About that nigga than anything, bro, because basically what we talking about, what y'all talking about is something with Kamala.
Will Trump have a hard time? I think it'll be more competitive. I'll put it that way. Do I think Trump can beat majority of their candidates right now? Absolutely. But at the same time, it's not going to be as easy as it's not going to be easy as it is with Biden. If Biden was still on ticket, it'd still be easy. Kamala's still on ticket, it's still easy because she has just a woman factor.
Gotcha.
Most men are misogynists no matter how you look at it. No matter what side, woke or non-woke, they're still misogynist. Even if you want to go transgender, them motherfuckers are more misogynist than anyone else. They think they more women than women are.
But what y'all think about that, Mayo and Resla? You think he'll be able to tear these young niggas up with his communication with them? Because he won't be going against somebody that's old and old as dirt like him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what advantage does a young person have?
That's the whole point. That's why I'm asking. No,
I'm asking you because you obviously think they have an advantage.
I don't think they have. I asked the question because the thing was, first of all, Tom said that they're not going to pick a woman. So I took her out the situation. Then he said they're not going to pick a black woman. Then I even explained to him, well, I asked him another question. Well, would they, between a black and a white woman, which one would they pick? He said a white woman, but they're still not going to choose a woman. So they still put all the stuff towards Trump. I said, cool. Well, if he go against somebody younger or he go against a male that's on the opposite side, will he still be able to do the same thing that he was doing with somebody who y'all politically said couldn't, who y'all specifically said wasn't able to even debate with the man, talk, communicate, walk, speak, anything, or even exist living? That's basically to say this nigga was a walking corpse.
Yeah, Biden was a walking corpse.
So again, so that's the reason why I asked the question. I don't know too much about this. I was just trying to see where you thought Trump's head was, where his competitive is, and Tom pointed that out. I wanted to see what you and Resla thought about it, but somehow I got switched back on me. Like I was just see, Trump can go at a man harder than he can a woman candidate. Yes, sir.
Poll in the chat, guys. Poll in the chat. Just want to know, not being influenced by the people here on the panel, I did have a question just from your own personal perspective, right? Do you believe that somehow, like, the Democrats are going to have a sneak attack plan to get Kamala to beat Trump? Because at some point, she's going to be able to put up a case to say that she is a better candidate, and here's the reasons why. I want you to think about it for a moment. What sneak attack plan could she possibly have in her head? That what kind of secret weapon do you think they might be trying to formulate that they can bring up? But before we come up to our conclusion for that, right, I do want to say thank you, Yvette. Yvette turned around and she sent the Cash App. I thank you very much for doing so. I appreciate you wholeheartedly. Marcus, thank you for coming in. I've been reading some of your messages going up in there. I do want to just thank the people that actually just walked in. Ms. Raven, I see you came up as well. John, you've been saying this thing about the alphabet men, and seeing that they're going to be the ones to vote for Harris. And while I'm not going to disagree with you on that, because some will and some won't, it's not enough for them. It's not enough for them to make a damn difference.
Less than 1%. What are we doing?
Not a large enough group.
Not enough.
Yeah. That's why I don't see why people
some will, John, but it's not going to be enough to even put a drop in the bucket.
No. I don't understand why people pander to them. Just like the teachers union. Same shit.
I'm with you, man.
You know, they hold way too much power for the amount of votes they control.
So to the chat, I want you guys to really think about that. And I mean, there's no right answers on this. I want you to think about what are some of the most devious things based on what we already know about Trump that the Democratic side will use to put in Kamala's back pocket that she may be able to just I didn't mean to actually shoot, but actually shoot at him so that it have to be something that Trump would have to be on the defense for. I want you to come up with your best stuff. I want to give me your best ideas, even if you think it's the craziest thing. Even if you said, even if you said she's gonna say, Trump, you eat booty. Give me your best ideas of what you think will be that smoking thing that will have to put Trump on his heels.
The hard part, though, is you're going to have to go pretty deep into the rabbit hole, because what haven't they pulled out on him already? Racist, sexist, anti-black, anti-Latino, anti-woman, anti-LGBT, anti-trans, anti-immigrant, anti-crime. They've already... See, the problem with... Because there's always an October surprise, right?
Yep.
It's going to have to be something so far down the rabbit hole, it's going to be ridiculous.
Democrats, how low can you go?
Trump talks to aliens.
Can you go?
I think they're going to get back on the Russia thing because of what Putin said about the assassination attempt.
Uh-oh. Well, there goes a conspiracy theory right there. You think they're capable of pulling that off, CCD? CCD says they're going to say something about Kamala where she's in danger. And they're going to blame it on the MAGA Republicans. I think it's too obvious. That's too much of an obvious plot.
She got to get shot in the leg twice or some shit. Get shot in the ass like Forrest Gump, nigga, and survive.
In the wheelchair.
Yeah, that's only how she gonna. Yeah. She gonna have to switch the game up. They gonna do something like that, CCD. Because this nigga, he almost got shot in the dome cranium. So you got to think about it. You got to 50 Cent that motherfucker. You got to take a couple of them and still survive and come back on camera. Yeah, that's the only way you're gonna be able to beat Trump when it comes to that type of shit.
Oh yeah. You're going to have to be on a respirator holding your fist up.
That's a fact.
To beat that picture.
Yvette, that would be a great laugh, but I don't know if that's going to be in her favor for sure. People will be like, oh, this bitch is crazy. We need to speed up getting a new person in here because she can't do it. She can't do it. Can we do a switch?
I'm with you on that right there.
Can we do a switch? Oh, coming to the stage, John the Baptist. All right, sir. Give us your thoughts so far.
Well, I just wanted to clarify because you misrepresented what I was saying.
Oh,
I don't think that they would make her win. I'm just saying they would vote. I'm just saying you would get the people that would support her. Those would be the ones who would support her. Is all I was trying to say.
Oh yeah, to the 80 percentile, the gays are always going to vote Democrat. Period. Doesn't matter who it is running.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to make the argument that they're going to help her win.
Hey, that's a good question. I never heard anyone really say anything about it. But Zoomer was mentioning Elon Musk versus Zuckerberg, which I can't give a shit about Zuckerberg. But the fact that Elon Musk, who literally keeps stating that he stays out of political favors or whatever, he was even on our freaking interview to turn around and say that he's not going to endorse anyone. Turned around and gave Trump like what? 45 million or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one in the pot. What's the split between Kamala and Kennedy for the Democrats? Because honestly, he's a better candidate for them.
Do you think they're going to be ballsy enough to try to bring him in?
He's already in.
Take her down? No, to take her.
He's run. No. As an independent.
Yeah, he's running third party, so
I don't.
How many votes is he going to strip from her?
I don't see them picking an independent.
You crazy?
I see a lot of Democrats taking an independent over Kamala.
Hey, he already
Yes.
motherfucking had the
They were
press
already
conference
looking at
going.
losing 10% of the vote to Kennedy anyway for Biden.
And think about this: he's already having a press conference right now as we speak, talking
If he
about how
ran,
absolutely he's
I
holding a
would go vote
conversation
for him.
right now on Associated Press.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely look at AP. So let me see what's
Yep.
going on over there.
And
I didn't even know he was
who's
giving
going to
these
pick for a running mate? That's going to matter too.
Who really wants to be her running mate?
No one.
Like that's my thing. When I ask people what exactly do they even remember from Kamala as a senator, because she hasn't really done anything as a vice president. I was having this conversation with someone when I just said that even Jill Biden, as the quote first lady, has done so little compared to other first ladies have done.
No, because she's been taking care of. She's been the president this whole time.
He sounds wild, Tom.
Huh?
He sounds like he got a serious cold.
That's the way he talks.
Oh, Kennedy, yeah, his voice fucked up.
Lobbyist,
I mean, who was it? Oh,
the
sorry.
It's
FCC,
another old geezer.
a Goldman Sachs CEO to
How
run
old is this man?
department, an oil
67?
lobbyist to run the Interior Department, a coal lobbyist to run the Environmental Protection Agency, and so on. And only today, President Trump has announced that in his new administration, should he win this election, that Jamie Dimon will be his choice as Commerce Secretary, and that Larry Fink, the director of BlackRock,
More businessmen, okay.
will run the Treasury Department. This is the swamp. These are swamp creatures. And,
No, they are not.
his pick as vice president is a salute to the CIA and to the intelligence community and to the military industrial complex. Their gravy train is going to continue. And President Trump has a connection to the American people, a populist connection, but in many ways, it's the same fraudulent.
Sir, that sounds like a lot. Like, it already sounds like a whole lot of conspiratorial talk.
What do you want? I told you if
Well,
it
you
had
know
nothing
what?
to do with my money. Oh shit, my bad.
You know what? At least the people he wants to put in there know something about what they're
The
doing.
actual industries, exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
this isn't Pete fucking Buttigieg. You know,
Oh, God.
this isn't the tranny fucking Department of Health fucking secretary. At least Jamie Dimon knows fucking money. He could probably make the country some.
Got it. Listen, the moment I heard Jamie Dimon, I said, okay, listen, this is someone who's been doing it for a while. Their family's been in it for a while. Like,
And they're not in politics, which is a plus.
so according to you guys in the poll, we got it leading right now that you don't believe that the Democrats are gonna have Kamala with some kind of smoking gun. I think Mayo influenced you. I think Mayo gave you enough evidence for you to actually put that in there. But 62% right now are holding, saying that she's not going to be able to pull up with any kind of dirt to be able to throw it at Trump at all.
Yeah,
That is a 62 to 38 right now.
She'll throw spaghetti at the wall, but I don't think any of it's going to stick. You know? What can they go after her for? Binders of women? And putting the dog on the trailer hitch like they did with Romney. I mean, it's all going to fall flat. All Trump's got to do is show that picture. And everybody going to forget binders of women and grabbing pussies. And
there's just so much that I'm looking at some of the things that she's already got back at her record. I'm just like, these are all standard Democrat playbooks.
But the thing is, right?
She has nothing
She's a
outstanding.
nightmare as a DA. Her record as a DA is a fucking
seeing
nightmare
that.
for the
People
Democrats.
think that she was a terrible attorney. I'm seeing that right now.
Well, dude, she kept people in prison past their time to use them as slave work for fires in California.
Coming to the stage. Hey, Yvette, what's going on?
How's it going? How's it going? Hi, fellas. Hi, bestie.
Hey, what's great?
Hi. This is fun. And of course, Mayo swayed my vote because Mayo is one of the most intelligent, most genius people I know. So, of course, he influenced me.
I'm a fucking moron. That's another story.
Well, I stand corrected then, but he still influenced me.
This is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot in such a short amount of time. And like I said, I know everybody is pretty much moving around the internet, pretty much wanting to give their own take as to why they believe this woman is gonna be unfit. And I'm trying to find some ways to say maybe she can find a way to start surprising people, not in a great way at all. But everything I look at, I just go, oh my goodness, this is not it. Oh no, why did they endorse her?
Yeah, the first thing they're gonna have to do is get her a new speechwriter. That's for goddamn sure.
No, she needs to stick to the damn script.
Dude,
she
did
can't.
you
She
ever
cannot read? She cannot deviate at all.
Did you see the SNL skit, sir?
No, I haven't.
I will
I
pull
didn't even
that
know
up.
they made one.
It's supposed to be an interview with her speechwriter. I'll pull it up. It's excellent.
I can just imagine who they used as her speech writer. Oh my god.
That I don't. Oh my goodness. Well, if Alec Baldwin is gonna have a little bit of time off, he can go back to doing Trump shit, because when she tries to run up against him, it's gonna be great for SNL.
Oh yeah.
Especially this whole attempted scenario. He's gonna have a big old bandage on his ear, all that. The whole night.
Yep.
All right, Resla, I'll put it in the back, sir.
All right, let's see what's going on here.
It's one of SNL's best works in years.
What more can be said about that? Honestly.
And she's
amazing
on the weekends. Wow.
That's just amazing.
You gotta admit, like, at this point, we're gonna look at that and we're gonna say, that's a wordsmith. She is absolutely phenomenal. People are gonna be giving commencement speeches like this. It's just so awe-inspiring.
Have you seen the new debate style, Resla?
There's a new debate style?
Do you follow like the National High School Debate Championships and stuff?
No, I don't. I probably should, though.
Yeah, it's incorrigible, sir.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't even think
won,
about that.
the team that won completely went against the idea and went on their own rant. And it was literally a rant.
Interesting.
Imagine free political poetry
at
a coffee shop where they serve crack and heroin.
Gross.
A coffee crack?
Of Coke.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd have to check that out. The last time I saw anything, the last time I saw anything in reference to a debate, the entire debate was just literally all about LGBTQ rights and protecting them. It had nothing to do about debate at all. Just protecting their rights. I said, I can't watch this shit. That's why I definitely don't look at debates anymore. Especially on the high school or college level, because it's just everything was just about being quote woke. They had no substance, nothing to add on to the conversation, just nothing. It was literally an opportunity to rally. That's what I saw. So no, I don't pay attention to that stuff. And I like debates. I like really good and structured debates, but that's not what I see anymore. I mean, we allow people to show up to so many different areas now. Like, we allow people, quite frankly, that even if they are quote to be artistic in their way, to be at Oxford and giving speeches and shit. I'm like, why the fuck are you there? Well, why? What previous papers? What? Who's these people that you've spoken to? Why are you there? I don't get it. I'm trying to, and it's funny part. I'm thinking about the way how Kamala's speech, how she speaks and the dumb shit that flies out of her mouth. But I'm also trying to think of what were some controversial statements that she's made, because I can't think of any. I can only think of all the stupid statements that she's made.
They're all stupid, no matter what.
Yeah, but were they considered to be controversial?
I don't think there's enough thought to be able to consider anything she says controversial.
No, because she doesn't really say anything.
Yeah.
She talks in platitudes and mystic fucking phrases.
Yeah.
Listen, she has a spiritual advisor. Of course, it's mystic, right?
Is she gonna pick a crystal every day and go by that? I mean,
she already does.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly what she's gonna do. If I was speaking words of wisdom and I had to get up on stage or whatever, you know what? That's what now that we're singing that with the singing bowls and everything, that's what we're gonna do. We're going to have like a nighttime session. You know what? Like OG, we might have to try to figure out another day for the drive-by discussions, because I might need to get a tuning fork. I might need to get like a liquor bottle and just like everybody feel the energy.
Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready.
Just get a theremin. You'll be good.
I want us all to focus. I want us to clear our minds and hear the river water, and it's just me pouring liquor into a cup.
Wow. I'll be catching the replay then.
See, I want OG DoDirty to run.
Oh, no, Resla.
I want OG DoDirty to run.
There you go.
I want Weeds and Catfish 2024.
Yep.
Hey.
Weeds and Catfish?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
We're going to see if we can make that happen.
You want a ghetto White House?
For every American.
Shut your ass up.
I will take a ghetto White House long before I'll take a Democrat.
Wait. It cannot be. It cannot be a ghetto White House, because we've already had athletes and entertainers already into them.
That's true.
We've already had the cookout.
Yeah.
And in fact, and look,
Chairman Mao on the National Christmas tree.
It will not be ghetto until we are officially able to paint the White House black.
Wow.
It will never be ghetto enough until we officially call the Black House.
Oh, jeez. Have Jay Prince really be president? That's fucking terrifying.
First point of order: paint the house black. It was built by slaves. It should be represented being black in all aspects. We're gonna pull the former presidents down for the walls. We're gonna stick up figures like MLK, and then we're gonna stick up Malcolm X, and then somewhere down there's gonna be Jay-Z, Like, why the hell not, right? To me, no.
I want Al Sharpton sitting in there instead of Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, he's gonna have his own office. He's gonna have his office in there.
Damn.
He's gonna be part of the staff.
Just side note, I don't know if y'all discussed this already, because I've kind of been in and out. What do y'all think how many people in America you think the percentage of people in America think that she actually has a chance to win?
To win?
Yeah. What percentage do you think actually think she has a chance to win?
Well, I got it. First of all, I think if I am going to make this assessment, I might have to know what Tom's father thinks.
That's an interesting question. It's definitely a conundrum, right?
I'll be interested to know just like what the majority of people think. How many people think that she actually has a legitimate chance of getting to the White House? Because the first time she ran on her own, she didn't even make it. She didn't even make it to
all she needs to do is convince people that the experiences that they're having and the questions that they're asking that you see as a conundrum, they just need to keep this in mind, that all the things that they're looking at and all the questions that they're asking are all things that could possibly happen. And then it's just all about making them happen.
Unburdened by what has been.
Seeing the things that are achievable that have not yet been achieved and making them happen.
The things that we've done, but haven't or don't even know we've done yet.
Genius.
Yeah.
Awe-inspiring. Awe-inspiring. That's it. Now I'm thinking I need to make a little area, get some singing bowls, some incense, some lights, candles, and a little shrine of Kamala. And we hit the bowl and we just.
Oh, you need that metal bowl with the rod that sings
like
when you ring it.
Singing bowls. Yeah, absolutely. And we just let us become one with the Harris.
I know how she can get Triple T. I know how she can get OG to vote for. Pick Triple T as her vice president.
That ain't gonna work, sir.
No, she got too much of a bad record. She literally has things on the record that are bad. They need to be hidden. Your skeleton's supposed to be in your closet, not sitting on the bed.
If you pick her, she going to jail with her. She don't do that.
Oh, so now you saying Triple T going to jail now?
Sir, I've been said that the first time I met her.
She's too honest with her intentions.
Yeah, I just said she's been getting away with it for a long time, and I rock with her because she's getting away with it. But I said she's going to jail. That's the first thing I said.
Okay, all right.
OG's going to ride with her till the lights come on.
That's a
then
fact.
he's going to say, I didn't know this car was stolen.
Exactly.
He's like, she's the driver's seat, not me.
Exactly. I'm just a passenger, sir. I would call me an Uber. It gets serious out here.
I saw her put dope under the seat.
Yeah, and it's hers too.
He's like, she put dope under the seat. It's not my business to ask her where she got that from.
Yeah, I don't do dope, sir. I'm a legal marijuana grower.
So why do I care what she does her dope? I don't do dope.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
good.
Do dope. That's her dope. She take her ass in jail. Where she supposed to be. Now you can get them. Baby, give me that credit card so I can get this truck.
Exactly. I don't ask her what she's doing her business. I just worry about my own. That's all. I don't know. This is gonna be something, and I know I'm going to have to go back and look at a whole bunch of other people's stuff. But I'm just gonna hear a whole bunch of arguments as to what they would like to do or what they would like to see, and I'm just sitting there going, these are not the questions that matter. I would like some very interesting questions on what they think could possibly happen. That's why I asked the whole, let's just say if she actually wins, right? God forbid. Who knows? Maybe there's a secret thing that winds up taking Trump away from the actual event. What does a Harris freaking presidency look like just in the first year? Prior to her even starting the official job, what does the quote elected status, the presidential elected status look like for America? How people will lose their goddamn mind.
I'm trying to think of the name of the movie.
Because I think of a lot of stuff. Right. I think of a lot of stuff that's already taking place. How somehow there's this thing that started with whispers and now it's speaking up more. Whether you want to say it here in the US and everybody's now inching towards this whole Civil War shit versus the rest of the world where everybody's now inching towards this whole World War III shit. And the entire premise that basically said that the US looks weak right now. Could you say that you look a little stronger with a Harris presidency?
Nope.
No.
So the question for a lot of people is like, all you have to do is just ask the public, is this who you want to be your leader? We're not going to talk about that from the female perspective. If we're just going to talk about given the actual things that they've done, not how they currently look, does this person look like a capable individual? The answer is a resounding no. But then do take your personal opinion on what you think that person looks like sitting on the throne. At the end of the day, Daenerys had to get stabbed, right? She had to get betrayed, right? Can't have her on the fucking throne. Because of what she could possibly do, could mess everything up. They're sitting there talking about the days of Aegon, talking about he's freaking the Mad King or whatever. But quite frankly, like I said, Daenerys Targaryen had to get taken down because of what she could do. Do you want that for Harris? Because you have somebody that just because it's sitting in a spot, it's sitting in a particular position, or in this at this particular point, because she's got dragons, does that mean that she needs to sit in the damn chair? The answer is no. But how many people will say, well, what else can we do? What else can they offer? Well, how about you do something about it? Stop electing the stupid people to actually be there. Stop being ignorant of the people that are actually trying to get in place. Instead of you talking about what I would do is if I was in that position, you're not, and you're not even pretending to do so because you're too busy liking the idea of spending your time doing other bullshit and eating Hot Pockets. So let's go beyond that. If you can try to think of what the future would be like for the people that's already trying to get that power, fight for that power, and you think it's not a good thing, do not vote for them. Fuck what they think to promise you. Look at their past results and then say, is this the type of person that I want? Because we're not going to think that they're coming to some kind of revelation that they will change their ways and all of a sudden start being better because they got more power. Do you believe that these people believe that with more power, they have more responsibility, or with more power means they have more ability to squander it, more ability to ruin other people?
Well, all you have to do to crush her is look at her record as DA. And the horrendous shit she did as Attorney General.
But there are people who are going to say, because of fucking Biden, there are people who are going to say, but none of that matters because she's a vice president. She made it to become vice president.
So I would point out that she's a DEI hire.
Absolutely. But guess what?
And
DEI is now a part of our
party was racist for doing it that way.
But unfortunately, here's the sad part about things. There are people who are getting into the space, right? Because I'm when I hear the DEI hire, I have to consider the younger generations who are now getting in to actually being able to cast their first vote. Kamala might be someone that might be their first vote ever. So they've come up in an age now where DEI is supposed to be natural in the world. There are people out there who might be thinking like, the reason why I just got started as a young person is because of a DEI hire. Why wouldn't I want a president who shares my views?
If I was Trump, I'd use the perfect example of the failure of the Secret Service to talk against DEI.
About how many people are looking at the Secret Service?
Right now, a lot.
Well, in phase for Trump, right? But they're gonna say, well, if because she's the vice president, she wouldn't have the same incompetent people. And I'm just sitting there going, Jesus Christ. You believe that shit? You really believe that shit?
No, but it's not the fact that it's not about competence or competence or incompetence. It's about the best person for the job.
Do we believe that people are looking for that now? What we should be looking for versus what we actually do look for. And I will say that just look at our last few presidents, right? People didn't vote for Bush Jr. because they thought he was competent. They did it because of what? He was somebody we look like we can get a beer with. Then we turned around and we had Obama, which most people turned around and said, well, he young. And quite frankly, he black. Then
Okay,
we
so
turned around and we got Joe. Why? Because he promised you a bunch of shit, but we didn't look at his past records. We were already an indication that he should not have been there. And now we have Harris, and we've been dying to have someone say, why don't we give a woman a try? Especially during a time right now, we say, down with the patriarchy.
So Resla, to your point though, what you just said, okay, so you went through a list of the past few presidents. When we talk about Barack Obama, I know most of us disagree with his politics. We don't think he's dumb though, do we?
What do you mean by done?
Dumb. We don't think he's dumb. We don't think he's unintelligent.
Being smart. So let's just put this out. Being smart has nothing to do with you being capable.
Okay. So
capability and intelligence don't necessarily go hand in hand.
I would agree with you, right? I won't disagree with that. I think there are two separate things. So what I would also say too is I don't think he's incapable of being president. I just disagree with the way the presidency went. I think he's very capable of being president. Now, do I agree with his politics? No.
And again, but here's the thing: you're allowed to have that perspective. But the same way how I tell people this, like when we did the whole, not my president, absolutely your president. You don't like him, but whether you like him or not, they are your president. You don't have to agree with them. We've had plenty of presidents who've done 8 years, and we didn't like them for the entire 8 years. They were still your president.
Okay, but I'm not sure if you answered my question. Maybe I'm just not understanding your answer. Maybe you are.
I wasn't sure that you gave a question.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure you referencing my statement that I made. Do we think he's incapable of being a president, though? That's what I was trying to get to.
You mean Barack?
Yes.
What you mean when you say capable of being a president? All you have to do is meet the requirements.
Do we think that Barack Obama, like any other thing, some of the best presidents in the country had in history?
No. And here's the reason why I'll say no. Because the idea of being the best president is all circumstantial when it comes to the times that we're in.
Yep.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's all about the times
it is. It is.
And to what affects us.
Correct.
Individually.
Currently.
I'll
say this. I believe that there were presidents. I believe that there were presidents who had a great mindset. They were just born too soon. And we never got to experience the kind of vigor that we needed from them to have an effective leader. And there are presidents we have right now that have stood on the shoulders of those who came before them, but don't understand the process, and they don't understand what those people came from, what they had to do to accomplish those particular tasks. They just know that they got it working. It's the same way. If you became president, right, and you were, quote, doing things for the benefit of the country, you just look at your predecessors and say, look what they got done, rather than the question of how did they get that to get done? We don't think of when I think of presidents who turn around and say that, like when I say I'll look at a Reagan or I look at a Clinton, when they turn around and say that there were lots of people that did not like them, and it could be because of party or because of personal fucking over in the back, whatever. But there are lots of people that turned around and said, at least in the beginning, like of Clinton's, the same way how they said for Reagan, is that there were people on both sides that definitely liked them. There was definitely a lot of bipartisan efforts. They didn't definitely happen for the last part, especially for like the second half or even like of Obama's. Whether you want to call it a racial part or whatever, but it's hard to find a president that you can get bipartisan efforts. And the further that we get down through history, the more separated we are.
Well, it's because of how left the Democrat Party's gone. Look at Obama. He was pro-marriage act.
I won't even just say the left. I will also, because we've had our issues with the right as being,
but the right has even gone farther left.
I will agree with that as well.
So to Mayo's point, the right has actually tried to come towards the left, and it's been impossible because It's impossible because they keep going further left. So how do you even get to a middle ground when they keep going deeper and deeper into craziness?
You can't.
I would
Hence where we sit
admit
today.
and I would agree with Mayo what he just said. Like, yeah, they went so far left. Like, I don't think you. Matter of fact, I think bringing on what's that chick that spoke? Amber was it Amber Rose?
Amoroso.
Amber Rose, whatever her name is. I think that's going too far left. But
You think so?
oh
Because
yes,
you thought it was all right when Biden had Cardi B sitting across from him. That
when
wasn't
who
too
had
far.
Cardi B?
Yes, he had Cardi B sitting in the White House having an interview with him.
Who had Cardi B though? Who had it? Who had her?
Biden.
Yeah. But what I'm saying though, I'm saying for the right to bring Amber Rose up
What's
is
the
going
difference?
too far to the left. Try to meet them to meet them.
Really? You?
Yeah, but he's not trying to meet the left. He's trying to communicate with people who normally wouldn't listen to him.
Right. They're trying to get
That's
people
not
who will
meeting
be.
the left.
You're trying to get
That's
people
not having a meeting
who
with Noam
not meeting the
Chomsky.
left. Right.
You know?
I agree with you. Okay, so I said it wrong again. What I'm saying is you're trying to reach the people that's on the far left. You're trying to reach the people on the far left to come to your side.
Yes.
Okay, and I would agree with that. That's kind of what I was trying to say. I just said it the wrong way.
But you're doing that through celebrities, which is why you can have someone like freaking Cardi B sitting there. But there's nothing in her background to indicate that this is the person that needs to be there. I would have rather had someone who was interviewing Biden, like quite frankly, Killer Mike, before fucking Cardi B. Like, come on now. Killer Mike is shown to be in politics. Someone that wants to be political. He's been on political shows. But Cardi B, there was no reason whatsoever she needed to be up there outside of the fact that she was, quote, a political figure. The same thing for Amber Rose. She has shown no other previous indication that she knows anything about politics.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
You're not actually trying to pull people from the left, John. Because
I agree with you. I agree. Go ahead.
Blue down the ticket, and then you got red or dead, right? And the people you need to pull are the people who decide who the president is. And that's the independents.
So, okay.
And you're just trying to reach younger independents who normally wouldn't listen to Trump.
I agree with you that you're trying to reach younger independents who probably lean more left because of their age, right?
Yeah.
But then you're still, in order to get that done, in order to get more left, you have to leave. You're not gonna say leave. You have to flirt with and pretend like you're leaving some of your old right-leaning ways.
No. What did Amber Rose say that the Republicans weren't going to do this time?
It's not what Amber Rose said. It's her past act. It's not what Amber Rose says. It's her past actions that make me.
But are they picked? Okay, so when they pick her to actually speak, right? When you say it's her past actions, when they turn around and they pick her to speak, they're not considering what. Do you think they're really considering what her past actions were, or they're considering her influence?
Influence. I know they consider.
Doesn't necessarily have to agree with your past action. There's no one who should have looked at her past actions in as being a political figure and say, I need to put a camera in front of this bitch's face with that bullshit written on her fucking forehead.
And guess what?
But we know she support baby deletion.
Don't care about her past, John.
You could find so many other influential figures who would support baby deletion. It didn't need to be her.
You know, the young people that she's going to influence and bring to you don't care about her past, John.
They don't.
I know.
And
I know they don't.
Guess what? You're going to, or whoever isn't not going to vote for Trump because she was on that stage.
So my question to you then, you bring us a valid point. So my question is, so let's say they convince a lot of the independents who are leaning left to come more to the right. We now know that it won't be conservative right. It won't be conservative. It's just going to be right that's progressively changing, which is about to happen anyway. So
why won't it be conservative, John?
Huh?
You're acting like they have to change for these people.
What
They don't.
what I'm saying? Well, no, I'm not saying they have to change. Okay. So this is what I'm going to get to. So let's fast forward. Let's say they win. Let's say they win these young people. Let's say these people now probably in their late 20s. Let's say mid 20s to 30s, right? That's probably where they are right now, age wise, or maybe younger. You think the younger?
No, probably mid to late 20s.
Okay, so mid to late 20s. Okay, let's say that. Now let's say fast forward 10 to 15 years from now, and these are now the middle-aged adults that's working. How does the party look 10, let's say 20 years from now?
It looks the way that it looks the way that the quote the young people that you're looking at has shaped them to be. That's why you try to get the what do we say? Get them in while they're young and the possibilities are endless. You shape them while they're young. You don't let them gain so much influence and opinions so that therefore they're able to go up against you. You need to be able to shape their minds early. And what's the best way to even get their attention? Throw somebody in there who already has their attention. It's not their job to show that they're different. It's their job to get someone to rope you in. Because there's nobody not gonna believe this woman wasn't paid or whatever to even speak. But get somebody to help get the eyes in there and then say, well, look, Amber Rose hangs with us. That means we're cool, right? Now let's tell you what we think. And you're thinking, well, if Amber Rose is cool with them, they must be cool. So let me hear what they have to think. It's what we talk about here a lot on the show when we talk about subliminal messages, the fucking narratives and the talking points and how we're able to get people in and indoctrinate them early. It's an easy strategy.
Yeah. And John, what's the natural progression for somebody's politics as they get older?
They tend to be more conservative as they get older.
Exactly.
And I agree with that. But okay, so I think, and I don't know. I'm only assuming and guessing and trying to predict the future, which is almost impossible to do because so many things are so different than the past. I say in the past 20 years compared to the past previous 80 years before that. Things have changed so rapidly, so fast, in so many different directions. It's almost hard to predict the future now, but I'm still going to do it anyway.
Well. Can I challenge you to do something a little differently, right? Instead of trying to predict what the outcomes of the future will be, how about we do a strategy to predict how to influence the future? See, it's a harder strategy to take what we've seen and to take what's currently here and try to make plans to persuade the future rather than try to predict based on what we've seen happen, but we're not necessarily paying attention as to why is it changed? Because too many times we see what it was like and we don't see how it is and we don't see what we can do to influence it. Instead, we try to take what we see from how it was, what we see how it is, and then try to make an indication of what it's going to be. But we lose so much context in between. And that really just comes down to talking to people and hearing opinions that you don't like and then saying, this is what they think. This is how we got here. Well, what can we do to influence that to be different rather than just say, not knowing what context is going to take to get from where we currently are to how it gets there and what ways we can shape it. Because that's not what happens. We just take what we saw, what we see, and then we try to guess rather than say, if I saw this and I see this now, based on what we see, that middle ground, what can we do to try to preserve what we can so that it can become part of the future?
Okay.
Hopefully I don't sound like Kamala on that, but that's the way how my mind was unfolding as I was stating all that. What can we do rather than just try to predict? Because predictions don't really come with a plan of influence.
Okay, I hear what you were saying. And so you said, so your view is rather than try to predict, let's persuade the younger generation to move in the direction we want the party to go.
We can't keep everything that we had, but we can keep something. But the problem that when we judge the past versus the present, we lose context in between.
I think what you're saying would have been a great idea 60 years ago.
I think it's a great idea today. I think the problem is that we don't look at the world that way.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't think it's a great idea now. and I don't have enough data in front of me. I'm just going on experience of what I've seen, and little experience of what I've seen around me, and what I hear on these YouTube streets what I see in society, the few people that I come in contact with. I don't think, matter of fact, my experience has showed me that young people don't want to listen to old people anymore. Matter of fact, Sway is the perfect example for this. I think Sway.
He's not, and I'll tell you why after. Go ahead.
And I think, I'm picking on Sway for a second. I'm he's not here to defend himself, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think there are more people that probably not to Sway's extreme, but I think there are more people who actually think that look this way. I mean, that probably deal some of the beliefs that he believe, and think that old people are outdated now, and that our experiences and the way we did things are no longer effective anymore. So therefore, I don't think we really can be an influence on the younger generation because they think that we don't know what we're doing, that we dropped the ball on everything.
And here's why I wholeheartedly agree with Sway. But quite frankly, it's not for nothing. It's quite frankly because of the mindset that you've already put forward. Again, the problem that we have with a lot of the older people is that we don't. Wow, I said we. Okay, but the problem that we have with the older people is that we get into a mindset where we become to revisionist. We get a revisionist history, and we talk about the good old days and how things are all messed up now because they look different. And instead of actually trying to have conversations, because we don't typically have conversations with youthful people, we criticize younger people. There's a difference. It's shitting on what they have, just the same way how when we had our parents and our grandparents, they shitted on what we have. We're not learning. We don't learn. We're literally repeating history. When rather, instead of shitting on what they have, why don't you take the time to see what you had, understand why is it they have what they have today? That takes a level of comprehension and, of course, adaptivity. Most older people don't want to adapt to the current times because they have a revisionist history. Adapt to how everything got to the way it is, and then say, if there's any way for me to hold on to what I did have, it's never going to be 100% because time changes everything. But if I'm going to, because a lot of things you have to bring up is values, right? How do I get the youth to at least try to hold on to the values for as long as possible? They will never be everlasting. But how do I get them to hold on to as long as possible? By taking the values that are currently there, seeing what they have, and linking what they currently have to those values and seeing how could we adapt that to push forward, rather than just disavowing what they have and just saying my values are better. You're not going to win anybody. And we literally repeat history. You did it to your grandparents and your parents, and you're doing it to the youth now.
Yeah, John.
And that's why they don't want to listen to you, because when you were young, you didn't want to listen to them.
Yeah, John, dude, all Sway's having a conversation on YouTube that we used to just have with our friends and with ourselves.
Correct.
It's the same mindset we had.
Nothing changed. You say that they changed. They have not changed. They're literally what they're literally doing is still under the human condition.
Okay, so I'm not going to discredit what you guys are saying, because I think from my perspective, I'm looking at myself again. It's just anecdotal again, so I can't compare myself in this situation to what y'all are talking about, because my mindset was different. I actually did listen to old people. I actually did listen. I think it's one of the reasons.
So did I.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I did. No. So did I. I listened. But that's why I have the mindset that I have, where I say I know I need to keep adapting because I listen to old people. But young people have no. But let's look at what some of the things that Sway says. He doesn't want to listen to quote old heads because there's a great enough history that says that we didn't learn because there were too many people. And again, I'll say it from what I said earlier. Too many times we look at our own personal experience and shape that to the world. We don't look at the outside world. The world is beyond us. So while we learn something, that's not the entire world. And we need to be more open-minded about that.
No. So I get you.
For you who learned it when you were young, John, think of all the friends, think of all the strangers, think of all the topics and other strangers that you've spoken to that did not learn because they didn't.
Correct. Okay, so which is why one of the reasons why YouTube bothers me so much, and not just YouTube, but what YouTube represents in society as well. in other media avenues, and whether it be TV, Hollywood, whatever case may be. Because what tends to happen is, because my life doesn't resemble what Hollywood looks like. I don't have what LeBron James has, or Taylor Swift, or all the famous rich people that they look up to. So they say, well, you ain't do nothing. People like you didn't do anything. Or they listen to the people who had the, unless you have that lifestyle, that type of fame, that type of money, or you type of person that can lie about what you have and put on a show and a facade and show people that you got something that you really don't have. They'll listen to that mess.
Can I
But
give
they
you a little?
won't.
Can I give
Go
you a
ahead.
little bit of pushback as to why? Because I'll look back into the older days, and I'm gonna say you, or I'll even push back further than you, and I look at my grandmother, right? And then when they talk about politics, because I was a
That's a
young kid,
lot
and I
further
did.
back. That's a lot further back than me. We don't know talking about your
I
grandma.
said
Don't compare
further
me to your
back.
grandma.
I said literally further back than you.
A lot
I
further back.
literally said
A lot further back.
I literally said further back than you, because we can classify anything as a lot further back when we look at Sway being younger and we say he got an old soul.
Yeah, I got you.
So when we look at, and I look and I hear them, right? You know what was the difference? They themselves have they themselves have pushed for. I wonder what this celebrity thinks about the particular politics that's going on. The difference is that there's a bigger spotlight on celebrities that we have today because of technology. Before then, you had to get to an Entertainment Tonight. You had to get all these different mainstream programs to really get up in a fucking camera to a particular celebrity. If you did, and the celebrity could just walk away. They say, this is not what we promised to answer, and they walk away. Today's age, we hold more people accountable because, quote, they have the status, because they have the ears of other people. This is why I mentioned, like, you got a fucking Cardi B who can get the ear of the president, who's way outside of her age range, but she can manage to get a fucking sit down. We hold more to celebrities to be able to, quote, expound on what our viewpoints are because they have access to get to these people. Because way back when it was all very media controlled, there are plenty of the average people who had celebrity crushes, or they were fans or whatever, who said, I wonder what they think. And they never got to hear it because the celebrities were never put in that limelight. Because why? They were only considered to be celebrities. They weren't considered to be influence. The influencer culture is something that we place because of technology. There was no such thing as an influencer. We all knew what influence was, but there was never an influencer culture. So now that we have influencers, you can get a Kai Cenat who will sit down on the Breakfast Club. Why the fuck is he up there? You know, like, I'm not saying he's been up there. I don't follow Kai Cenat, but he could if he wants to. If Kevin Samuels lived long enough, you don't think he would have been able to be on the Breakfast Club, despite the fact of how much they didn't like him? Of course he would have. Of course he would have.
So can I interject right quick?
Yeah.
So Mayo, OG, and Resla. I'm listening to what you're saying, Resla, and I'm this is what's crossing my mind. If I hear you correctly, I don't want to put words in your mouth. You are saying that they don't want to listen to certain people from my generation or further back. Well, you kind of my generation too. I don't know why I'm separating you from me.
I'm not.
Because
We're far back.
No, I'm only 8 years older than you at the most, probably.
Far back, sir. That's a whole generation away in our mindset, sir.
So they don't want to listen to our generation because the bulk of our generation doesn't resemble success. That part of what you're saying?
I wouldn't say success. That's not a marker that I put in. But they don't. What happens is that if you want to mention generations, when they look at the generations that were ahead of them, they don't see a lot of people within those generations, quote, being the standard of being a great example.
Okay, so this is what I learned. Okay, I want to see what you just saying. This is what I've learned though in my lifetime. I was able to learn from people who didn't look like the standard and the people who did look like the standard. Because what I found out in life, you can learn from anyone if you're willing to sit down, listen, and see and understand. Now, I may learn what not to do. I may learn what to do. And I
Yeah.
think what's lost. I think what's lost. And y'all, this is what OG and Resla, y'all come in and help me out. I mean, OG and Mayo and Resla too. I'm not trying to catch you up. I just want y'all opinion on this. Is it too far fetched to think that? Also, so maybe myself personally may not be up to the status of where all these other successful people are. But
You're
isn't it
well,
true that
you're not up to that
everybody,
for other reasons.
everybody has something to teach you?
I agree, but here's the problem. We came to a point in our age where we believe that anybody can teach us because everybody we should bother listen to. And it's just not true. We shouldn't listen to everybody. The problem that we have, even just stemming from our education system, right, is that we don't teach wisdom. We follow foolishness because anyone who has a voice about anything, whether they have status or they have influence because they are just popular. I mean, take the Basketball Wives, the Love and Hip Hops back in the day where MTV just got started, VHS and the stupid little reality shows that came up and everything else. Because quite frankly, it's how do I want to say this?
I mean, you can learn more from them a lot of times than positive people.
There was something I was writing down. And I'm probably not going to find it because I got so many notes all over the place. But the idea is that while a lot of people in this day and age, especially with technology, it's not the fact that people don't see the truth, but it's just way more entertaining to look at the lie. The truth is not entertaining.
Yeah.
The lie is. The perception is more entertaining than the actual truth. The truth is ugly, and we don't want ugly. We want badness. We want the bad bitch.
But guess what? We went through kind of the same thing, right? Remember that thing you wanted as a kid that your parents couldn't afford?
Yeah, I learned to go to work for it.
You know, now what happened when you became the parent and your kid wanted that?
I did what I did. I taught my kids how to go to work for it.
Yeah, but that wasn't the question.
No, he said the question he asked, what did you do when with that thing that you wanted that your parents would paraphrasing, that your parents wouldn't get it for you? And my
Did you
statement
help
was
them get it?
no, my statement to that question was I went to work for it and earned it myself. That's my first statement. And then when he
Yes,
had, then
but your kid wanted that same thing. What did you
What
teach
happened?
them?
and I taught my kids the same thing that I did, go to work for it.
And did you help them?
No, not initially. And not initially, no.
No, but in the end you did.
So I'll
Because
put it this way.
you gave a positive response because they gave a response to the stimulus.
Correct.
I will say this. I'm gonna say yes to your question because I'm not gonna try to avoid your question. But okay, so for example,
And no, but there's nothing wrong with that, John.
Yeah, exactly.
It's part of the process. And see, for like you keep talking about sway, right?
yeah,
For a guy that doesn't want to hear from a bunch of old heads,
He
he
listens a
is a
lot.
whole head.
he
He
fucking
listens a
hangs
lot.
around a lot of them and listens, doesn't he?
Exactly.
He does. He does. He
Dude,
does.
all he is doing, this is how he engages people. This is his style of engagement. He might say one thing, but but the outcome is completely fucking opposite of what he said.
But this is why I like despite the fact that he trolls and says all the other shit, which can derail, it's no problem. But this is why I say when he gets into conversation with people, he does act with a sense of wisdom, which is why we call it an old soul, because an old soul is quote someone who's wise, of wisdom. Most people don't speak with wisdom. Most people speak of foolishness because most people speak on how they feel, not what is the general consensus that has been learned.
And I think what Sway is most upset about, honestly, is that he's more like us than he is than his own generation.
And it makes him mad.
And it
because
bothers him.
There should be more people. I mean, OG and I went through this when we were having that survey that you put up, Mayo. We were like, what the fuck? Like, people way back then, they knew all this shit. They knew shit that we didn't know today. And that was because even in school, wisdom was taught. We're not taught wisdom. In fact, most school systems now, the kids have more power than the actual people in the institutions, the actual teachers. The kids have more power.
Yeah.
I give you
what they learn.
I would give you a real live example that I had that I use in my kind of like in my family. My grandfather was not we be considered no genius at all, but he was a man full of common sense and wisdom. I mean, he would say some of the simplest things. I mean, like you were like, that's not genius at all. Not even close to being. You would mistake it for being a genius at all. But he had a common saying: "Don't spend more money than you make."
But do you hear a common theme that's happening between this conversation that you and I are having with Mayo? The common thing is that you say, "But I did, but my family did."
Yeah,
We're
correct.
speaking about
Yeah, I know it's anecdotal.
but we it's not a matter of being annoying, but it comes back to the crux of what I'm saying. The world doesn't revolve around us.
I get
We
it.
need to have a
you grew up in a
broader view of
non-standard
how the
environment too, John.
entire world looks. We need to look at the entire environment and not just
Yeah.
our little corner. Because if you
And
want
you grew
to
up in a
be able to help
non-standard household,
influence,
John.
to be able to influence, it's to not just think about yourself. To be able to influence is to consider other people and how to shape their perspective.
Okay, so Mayo, what do you mean by non-standard? What are you trying to say non-standard? I want to make sure I follow what you're saying.
Your living situation is the instability as a child. I'll put it that way. I'm not going to name everything that you named before.
I got you. I follow what you're saying though.
Yeah. That's not the average kid's upbringing in America.
But the point I was trying to make from it though is that the point I was trying to make is drawing is that you can draw from people who everybody else would disregard.
Oh, dude, I've some of the most important things I've learned were from some of the worst people I've met.
Agreed.
Because some people just serve
An
as
example.
a warning sign of what not to do.
Yes, I remember some of my best lessons came from the drunk dude on the corner. And somebody was like, "Why would you listen to a drunk dude on the corner?" Because obviously he know how he got there. That's why I would listen to him.
But I love that you made that point. But do we listen to him or will we just follow what they say? There's a difference.
Explain the difference. Explain the difference.
So, for instance, how many times did we say there's a difference between listening and hearing? Too many people hear, they don't listen.
Okay.
Which means if the drug man is telling you what to do because this is how he got there, you're just hearing what he says and you think that you can emulate that. You're not listening. You're not being very intentional about the things that he's saying and why is he saying a specific way. And most of those people, when they hear something, it's like following orders. They hear an order, they follow the order, they don't ask why the order was given out that way. And they don't ask, well, what happens if the order doesn't work out that way? Is there a contingency plan behind that? You know what those people say? Stop asking me questions, just do it as I say. Most parents turn around and say, do as I say, not as I do. And that's a wrong strategy.
Okay, so here your point heard. Same example. Drunk man on the corner. Some of the best lessons advice came from drunk man on the corner. He would say, don't do this. This is what happened to my life. Now, he couldn't tell me, I guess would be the inverse of opposite what he did. He can only tell me what he did to put him where he is. So now it's up to me to see his life, what he shared with me, his decision making to lead him to where he is right now, analyze that, and figure out, okay, how do I do the opposite of what he did?
So I love that you said that. Fast forward to today, because there are still men on the corner, there's still men doing drugs, still men selling drugs. Do you think that those kids are hearing, don't do what I did? Here's the reasons why. Do you think they're being taught to be analytical, to assess why, to ask questions? Or do they think that this man is making money and I just need to listen to him to get the game and just run it? If I just listen to him, I'll be as successful as him. Again,
to answer your question, I would say most kids are not being analytical at all.
Because part of wisdom is being able to analyze. Analysis is not taught anymore.
But it wasn't taught to me though.
I'm pretty sure, without you thinking about it, it has been. But if you really did deep dive on how you got there and the way you were raised or the subtle things that were picked up, because if you're gonna say that analytics were not taught to you, that means that even the differences between school, the differences between people, and and that means you're also saying that the idea of even having analysis is only hereditary, and that's incorrect.
I would say this. I'm not gonna say it's hereditary either, because I can tell you it doesn't run common in my family either. What I will say is this, and I'm not trying to just so it won't be just about me, because I know this is I want to make this too anecdotal, which I'm kind of doing. I do believe though there are certain people with certain traits which may not be inherited, may not be passed down. It's just certain people DNA. They grow up questioning everything. I don't know how you would describe that on a broader sense.
Well, some children are more inquisitive than others,
Correct.
and
Yeah,
that's
and
that's
I don't think
actually
that. Yeah, I don't think it's
um
hereditary. I think it's just a random lot of whatever's going on in the circumstances. You
Yeah.
can have
yeah, that's
you can have kids lined up and viewing the same thing, but not just because all kids are lining up watching the same experience unfold in front of them. They are standing in different positions from left to right. Even if you have something directly in front of them, someone's a little bit off to the side, someone's a little bit off, and that person that might be right in the center sees more than everybody else because there's a little bit of a shadow that's missing. Just a little, they didn't catch quite the full backhand of what was going on in that situation. Perspective matters when it
and
comes to
John,
assessing a situation.
yeah, and we were left alone to solve a lot of problems at a young age.
Not today.
Not today. Today, their kid's day is planned by his parents or some other adult from morning to fucking night.
Yeah.
So they don't, nowadays they're not getting that analytical training
Critical thought is not
at an early age.
hard. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a
So
normal concept.
I'm glad we got here, right? I'm glad we got here. So now this goes back full circle to what the point I was trying to get to earlier, which is the reason why I don't have a lot of faith in these young kids now when we talk about Amber Rose leading them to the conservative party, to conservative values. I don't think they have a whole lot of skills, what you guys just said.
Yeah, but
They
So,
go ahead.
but this is the
but
point.
you can't teach them.
Go ahead, Mayo. Go ahead, Greg.
You can't teach them until they're in your fucking audience.
And also, you say you don't have a lot of faith. No one's asking for your faith. What you should be having first is just your empathy. You can only save those you can. Never think that you can reach everybody. But you have enough. You should be. The problem that we have as we get older is that, again, there's a lot of condemnation, a lot of condemning of what's going on, not a lot of understanding. And I think that's the reason why people fall apart, because they don't. It's like saying, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. I don't want to move past. I don't want to accept that the world has changed around me. You adapt or die. Those who don't adapt find themselves in a very precarious situation when they get older. And you're always getting older because we get a revisionist history and we become more rigid. I think the people that become more fluid, that are more accepting that change happens, because the more older we get, we tend to not want things to change. I think we need to be more open to having change if we want to really survive. There are people that would not choose a surgery because they think that because of the way how the old days were, you didn't do surgeries because you were looked at a particular type of way. Versus now, people are like, oh, I got to do surgery? Yeah, I'll do the surgery because it's more beneficial to my future. Because we look at previous experiences and we don't take it. There are plenty of people that right now that will turn around and look at you as being a pussy for taking aspirins. Man up, take the fucking headache. Back in my days, we didn't take aspirins. You're a fool. You're a fool.
Yeah, John, look at the Vietnam era vet compared to now, and their view of the VA. For those guys will do anything to stay out of a VA.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
literally where they went to be killed or die.
Yeah, I'm still gonna I'm listening.
No, I understand I understand
I,
your concern with it,
right. But
but
it doesn't
but
change. It doesn't change the fact that people have different
I
perspectives across the
I
board.
just I will say this. I think we all have lived long enough to know, and I think you kind of touched on this a little bit, Resla, that people are going to be what people are going to be. And so you should have sympathy for those and help those who you can help. And then those who you can't, you
Wait,
just can't.
I need to change it. I need to change those words because it's very important. I don't have sympathy for them. I have empathy for those who are trying to
Okay.
do better. I have
Empathy.
empathy for those who are trying to do better, and they just haven't ran across someone to give them the guidance. Because again, the same way how I pointed out early when it came to Mayo, education was intentional. Education, by the time it got to when I was in school, was highly subjective. And now to the point where education is not subjective because it's just not taught at all. Critical thought was wishy-washy in my time. Critical thought may have been more intentional in Mayo's time, and from the survey that he gave us, critical thought was highly important. We are getting watered down for every generation that's coming by, and technology just doesn't help in that. It actually amplifies it because people are taught to be more in their feelings than being more about what's being.
Elaborate being more watered down. I think I know what you're saying. I just want you to clarify.
So
I want you to
a great example is I'll use the example of family. It is, I think it is more important to believe in knowing what your bloodline is, knowing who your cousins, your first cousins, your second cousins, whatever, having that family dynamic, eating at the family table, talking about what's going on today, helping each other out, whether you're in the suburbs or whether you're actually someone who's in an urban society, knowing that as the oldest and you have particular responsibilities, learning the aspect of your brother's keeper, uh, be more intentional about what's going on in family dynamics is a lot better than when you look at today's age. Most brothers and sisters are like, well, what are your brother doing? I don't know what they're doing. Nigga just does what he want to do. What's your sister doing? Well, I mean, I think she does an OnlyFans right now. You don't think that that's a problem? Well, you have older siblings who turn around and say, I'm not my brother's keeper. I'm not here to look after the female. I'm not looking to anyone else. I don't want to be, quote, I don't want to be looking after my sibling because I just want to do me. I want to have my own life. To the point where even if you want to look at porn, what are some of the highest topics that I looked at right now? Step brothers, step sisters having sex, step families having sex, whatever. We moved the whole point of being able to be a supportive dynamic was also to push forth our genetics, because you are less likely to get genetic anomaly by not mating with each other in order to be able to survive. Where now we're kind of saying that we've gone from step siblings to even full siblings being able to sleep with each other once again. That's what I mean by the watering down of society. Imagine you growing up, and because Japan was another one that pushed this culture too for a long time, where the young sister is going to school with her friends and they're like, oh, your brother, he's kind of cool. And they're like, oh my God, yes, he's so cute. You're looking at your brother as the opposite sex. But again, slow things like that get translated throughout the world, not banned, to the point where some of the biggest porn in the world is, quote, family. And if you didn't know that, I'm letting you know today. It's one of the biggest things that are out there. Some of the biggest search for content when it comes to people who want to get their rocks off. Hey,
Can I use
Dad.
a less?
You have single fathers and single mothers. They turn around and say, hey, can you give us somebody else who has kids? Because I want to have the idea of fucking my stepsister.
Can I give a little less gross example?
Go ahead.
Please do.
Okay. John, remember when we were kids and you watched the A-Team or whatever show at night, right?
Yeah.
All right. What did all your friends talk about?
Oh, Mr. T.
Well, whatever they watched, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Because there's a pretty good idea that all your friends probably watched the same one or two things.
That's true. Yeah, correct. Yeah,
because there was only 3 channels.
correct.
Well, now we got 400.
Yes.
More. Well, way more.
And that's just channels on cable. That's not streaming services, the internet, YouTube. Everybody's on a different page now.
And Mayo, and I know y'all gonna disagree with me. Y'all gonna disagree when I say this, and I say this all the time now. And the analogy you just gave is perfect why I say it. Which is why I say options is not always good.
Oh no, I 100% agree.
I think people argue me up and down now that that choice is what's best for society, and I'm saying no. Too many choices puts us where we are right now. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, but John, wouldn't people making bad choices, can't that also serve you for the future?
It
like the guy on the corner. You need the yield signs in society.
Those. Yeah, I agree.
You can get
as much as you need to go, the red lights and green lights.
I want to disagree with you, Mayo. I want to disagree.
I mean, would you rather have an overt racist or a covert racist?
I'd rather have overt racist.
Because straight out, you're seeing exactly what the fuck they're showing. Right? There's no question. I'd rather have the same thing with stupid people.
Yeah. I honestly don't want to disagree. But like, as much as like, because here's the thing that I do with people. That I had one of my friends tell me this over the weekend. She's like, you know what I like, but I don't like about you? It's like, despite the fact that I know how you are and I know you want to disagree, I know you don't like it, you'll still hear them out. I'm the kind of person that will sit there, and as much as I vehemently don't like it, I'm going to listen to what a pedophile has to say, because I'm trying to understand their process. Because the only way to quote, the problem that we shut people down the moment that we don't like what we have to hear. But in my mind, it's always been the same. The only way to defeat the person that you're trying to go up against is to know thy enemy. We're too busy trying to defend our points than know the opposition that we can beat them. The best way to beat somebody is to let them.
When I said I want to disagree with Mayo. When I said I want to disagree with Mayo, it wasn't. I thought that it was only to the point. It's not that I didn't hear his point, because it's not even. I understood what he was saying, because he was saying that we need the people who made the mistakes in life to help us. His point was we need the people who made the mistakes in life so we can gain the wisdom from their mistakes.
Yep, I agree.
A cautionary tale.
We
absolutely.
We need somebody to be. We need to be able to beat somebody to make it in this world.
Yeah, honestly,
it is a world of competition, and if the stupider the competition is for me, the better off I am.
So I love the fact that you said that, Mayo, because part of the thing that I've been battling with right now is the blackity black perspective. Because one of the person that I was reading, like I did a whole, like this woman did almost a 30-minute segment, and I did 2.5 hours, like chopped down to 2 hours, because for some reason I couldn't give it more than 30 minutes. But the entire aspect of her whole show was me like, it was all about eliminating quote competition. And I'm like, how do you get rid of competition? The entire time. And there's this whole blackity black perspective and just about self-love, but there was no aspects of how you reach a particular height in the world, how you're able to build upon, how you're able to make a better life for people who are here, especially here. And while you say like, well, does that mean that you need to be homeless? Does that mean that you can't really do whatever, that you shouldn't be? Because everything turned into, of course, because the blackity perspective is that it's all about the white people. Disregarding the Asians, West Asians, I should say, disregarding the Chinese, disregarding Indians, or Native Americans, I should say, disregarding Japanese, disregarding everything was about what came from slavery and up. And they had a tunnel vision. They were literally a horse with blinders. They could not see more than white people. They could not see Indians. They could not see Arabs. They could not see East or West Asians. Like it blew my mind. And then for all the stuff, I looked at their live stream afterwards, that after they made this whole big diatribe of almost 30 minutes as to, and it was part of my stream as I did last time when we started out, John, about Black excellence. She's actually one of the people that I reviewed, but I wanted to give her more due diligence. But the diatribe she went on and then turned around and she did a live stream, and I watched the live stream and she's like, I didn't say any of these things. The problem is that you didn't say anything opposite. You didn't actually state a point. You were just fucking riffing the entire time. You didn't state what a position was. You didn't state what a better thing was. You didn't state what someone could do otherwise. You just did a whole big thing and you blamed a whole bunch of people that had no business being blamed. It was a human condition.
I'm gonna say this and I gotta drop off because I gotta go do something right quick. I gotta do something right quick. I get the point what you guys are saying, and I get, that when we think about what Kamala Harris is about to do, she's gonna run for president, right? She's seeking a nomination.
Well, what we assume she's gonna do?
No, she came out. I think they came out and said it today.
Oh, I didn't see that yet. I didn't see it yet.
I think it came out.
Yeah,
I think
Biden is backing her for the nomination. I mean,
yeah. It's already done. It's about to happen.
Oh wow. Well, yeah, I know
he's still got to get past the convention.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, still got to go through the process. Yes. So that's why I thought you did this show. That's why I thought you were doing the show today.
I did it to get it out the way because I know people were gonna have a whole bunch of opinions, which is why I did it late. I did it a little bit later, like an hour or two afterwards, because I wanted to hear what everybody thought after they visited their favorite creators and listened to all their news cycles. They were gonna say the same shit. But my aspect is like, how do we get into a conversation that's outside of the narrative and talking points? Now that you heard what everybody has to say, which is all the same shit, by the way, what are your personal views? That was the point where I did the stream.
So, I'm gonna say this, and I gotta get to go because I gotta do something right quick. I think that she's going to try to make a hard push to be the next president. I don't think she's going to win, but I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth. I don't think she has a possibility and a chance of winning. But if she does, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I don't have anything to back this. I don't have anything to back this up. I don't see any vital way. I don't see any way possible that she can win the White House. I don't see it happening. But somehow, if it did happen, it would prove to me that the idiots are ready for the world to end. And for her to entertain the idea of running.
I'm sorry. Repeat that last part. I for some reason I lost that last part.
But somehow, if she does win, it would prove to me that the idiots are ready for the world to end.
Okay, got you.
It would just be like further proof to me that we're ready for the BS. We're ready for the bottom of the society just to fall out. We're ready for all of the trash just to rise to the top. If she wins, that's what I'm reading to that.
I thought that was Biden already.
Well, he said Biden already.
Because of his mental condition.
Yeah, he said Biden already. I was thinking to myself, hasn't society already currently conditioned us for that?
Society is preparing us for that, but I don't think we're fully ready for it yet. I think we're still being prepped.
Okay, so before you take off, I'm gonna ask you the question. How is it that you feel that society hasn't prepared us for that already?
So I'm gonna answer your question with a question.
Okay.
Do you think this is the worst that we can get?
No, I think we can get a whole lot worse.
And I think that's why I think we're still being prepped.
Because I don't. Here's the thing about media today. I don't think we're always being prepped. I don't think we can be prepped to do better. I think we can always be prepped to do worse. I think we're always looking for someone to push the boundary. We're always looking for someone to go further past the line. I don't think we're ever looking to have people just touch the line. Like we look at our comedians and such who turn around and say that we need to be someone who pushes the line. That's not what we're looking for anymore. We're always looking for someone to go past the line, which is why even on my last stream, I talked about destiny. We're not looking for someone who's willing to touch the line, to even take a step over the line. We're looking for someone to literally sprint past the line to sound extreme. I mean, it's one of the reasons why it's the reason why our social media went into a firestorm about Nick Fuentes. Because he went well beyond the line. And we're looking for someone who's just willing to be that person. Because
I gotta go.
what was one of the all right, cool. But what was one of the biggest things that we talked about when it comes to Trump, right? We said we don't want him in power because he's going to be the person that pushed the nuclear button. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. But it is what's put out there. Mayo, give me your last
Trump
thoughts.
is going to be the end of democracy.
Yeah, but give me your thoughts before I take off from here, because I got something that I need to do as well. I wanted to do this because that was the latest news, and I literally got woken up out of my sleep because people were calling me.
It's going to be a hard road for the Democrats, because I think actually they're a lot more split than they're showing right now about Kamala being the head.
And which is funny because I'm wondering why they weren't so split when it came to just Joe Biden continuing his presidency. I'm more laughing at the fact that it literally took Obama to say he's not very comfortable about Joe for them to finally step down and say Joe got to go.
Yeah. And Obama is not behind Kamala.
Not at all. But I don't think here's the thing. I don't think Obama has ever been behind Kamala, because again, no. Kamala was brought up as a diversity hire. Sorry, ladies.
Dude, she's a nightmare based on her record as Attorney General.
As far as the latest administration that we've been under, they've done the least for the people.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I have never seen a first lady who has not done anything because all she has to do is focus on her elderly old husband. And I have not seen a vice president who has not done anything outside of claiming that she wants to make sure that kids are basically being fed and dancing in the streets with them. Like, if we just look at the previous administration before that with Obama, Michelle, regardless of the fact that she never even, let's just be honest, she never even wanted to be first lady, has done way more for people and institution and fucking obesity, whatever, than what the fuck is happening now. What the fuck has been happening in the last almost 4 years now? It's just what it is.
I mean, they didn't load their for their second round with this. They fucked up.
Yeah. All right. Is there any last segments before I want to end this out? I do know time is on.
You're good, bro. You're good.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
If you're meant to be on, I'm probably gonna go take a look at what's going on at the porch session. Actually, let me grab the link.
Yep, that's where I headed to.
Yeah, let me go grab the link of where he's at right now, in case anyone's interested in going over there and taking a look at what Oklahoma's got going on. He's doing his TPO Sundays as he's gotten started there. Let me just take this. I'm gonna put this in the chat. So guys want to go check that out as well. When I am not here, I'm actually I'm checking out things. I'm going over there as well as other areas that I take a look at. And the same way I just sporadically put on, I'm gonna sporadically end it out as well. Hopefully you guys are doing well. You do your own thing. I will see you in the next one. And until then, as always, stay opinionated. This was my particular segment on it. Thank you for everybody who showed up. OG, John the Baptist, Mayo, Uncle Tom, Yvette. Thank you for showing up as well. I love it when you come up, girl. But I'll leave you to it. This is my Sunday edition. Do be aware I am going to be doing something for Wednesday, and of course we have our Saturdays as well. So I will see you on the next one. Later, y'all.